Harlem Eubank stepped into the Brighton Centre with pressure hanging over him like a shadow, and by the time the final bell sounded, he had turned that pressure into a statement that shook the entire arena. The crowd rose to their feet as the scorecards were read, 100 to 90, 100 to 90, 99 to 91. It wasn't just a victory over Josh Wagner, it was a reclaiming of identity at a moment when his family's pride had taken heavy hits. Harlem didn't just win, he controlled every second, proving he belonged in the spotlight and reminding everyone that the Eubank lineage still has fire. From the opening round, Harlem came out calculated and confident, snapping out a sharp jab that instantly set the tone. Wagner tried to close distance, hoping to break rhythm with pressure, but Harlem's movement was too slick. He stepped in behind fast combinations, then pivoted out before Wagner could respond. The crowd noticed early that this wasn't a cautious approach, this was a controlled dismantling. Every exchange looked like Harlem had already mapped it out in his mind, from the jab that blinded Wagner to the right hands that stung and forced resets. As the rounds progressed, Harlem picked up intensity. He began stringing together more damaging sequences, mixing precise body shots with fast straight punches upstairs. Wagner threw back, catching Harlem with occasional hooks and bursts of aggression, but none of it shifted momentum. Even when Wagner pressed forward, Harlem's footwork kept him out of danger, and the counters punished every mistake. By round 7, Wagner's face told the story, swelling, frustration, and a rhythm he never found. The deeper the fight went, the more Harlem tightened control. He wasn't chasing a wild finish, he was asserting dominance with discipline. The final round felt like a showcase, angles, accuracy, and composure. When the bell rang, there was no suspense. Harlem raised his gloves before the official scorecards even surfaced, knowing he had given Wagner nothing to work with. But the impact of the fight stretches far beyond clean numbers on paper. Harlem walked into this matchup carrying weight. His previous outing ended in disappointment, and his family name had recently been dragged into harsh spotlight after brutal losses and public scrutiny. Expectations weren't just about winning a boxing match, they were about restoring belief. That's why the result hit so hard. In front of a home crowd, under the banners of a storied lineage, Harlem reminded everyone that he isn't just part of a family legacy, he's carving a path that stands on its own. The roar of the Brighton crowd wasn't just applause, it was relief, release, and recognition. Wagner wasn't a stepping stone. He arrived with a strong record, a physical style, and intentions to spoil the night. He tried, he landed shots, he pushed forward, but Harlem answered everything with sharper precision and clearer purpose. It wasn't a fight decided by a lucky moment, it was a shutdown performance built round by round. What happens next could be even bigger. A major champion was watching from ringside, eyes locked on every exchange. Observers are already whispering about title opportunities. It's in reach, but what mattered most tonight was the statement already made. As Harlem stood in the center of the ring afterward, sweat dripping, gloves raised, there was no arrogance in his expression, only calm satisfaction. He didn't just get back on track. He reminded critics, fans, and the boxing world that he's far from done and far from defined by anyone else's setbacks. He left the ring not just with a victory, but with a renewed sense of purpose, walking out to a crowd that now carried his name with pride once again. Subscribe Fight Shire for more of this kind of content.